Did you know that hidden across this planet, behind concrete fortresses, razor wire horizons, and corridors that smell of rust and fear, lie places so brutal, so psychologically corrosive, that even daylight cannot soften them? Places where time slows down and humanity dissolves. Places where silence is not peace, but a warning. Where footsteps echo like final sentences, and every locked door hides a story the world was never meant to hear. Today we descend into those places, not as visitors, not as observers, but as witnesses. These aren't prisons. They aren't correctional facilities. They are real-world nightmares. And as we move from number 10 toward number 1, the shadows deepen, the stories grow colder, and the last prison will challenge your understanding of fear. Subscribe, and let's go. Number 10. La Sabaneta, Venezuela. La Sabaneta is a place where order collapsed long ago, where systems failed, structures decayed, and survival became a currency. According to a 2024 Venezuelan prison conditions review, La Sabaneta once held 5 times its intended population. Cells designed for human rehabilitation turned into pressure chambers of heat, sweat, and desperation. Inside, prisoners built their own hierarchies, their own courts, rules, punishments. Night had a sound here, a sound survivors describe as metal clashing with breath, an endless rhythm of fear and defiance. Food scarcity forced alliances. Sickness traveled through the corridors before guards even noticed. Medical care was a rumor. La Sabaneta wasn't a facility. It was entropy wearing the shape of a prison. Number 9. Tadmor Prison, Syria. Tadmor, or Tadmor, is a name carried through whispers, through testimonies recorded by human rights organizations in 2025, written with a kind of trembling honesty. Located deep in the Syrian desert, Tadmor was engineered not just to hold the body, but to dismantle the mind. Interrogations weren't events, they were atmospheres. The architecture itself felt hostile. Narrow corridors that funneled sound, low ceilings that oppressed posture, rooms where air felt thin and uncertain. Prisoners arrived blindfolded, led through endless hallways where silence was a message, and noise was a threat. According to multiple Amnesty International accounts from 2024, Tadmor's greatest weapon wasn't physical, it was psychological. Time fractured, days dissolved. Prisoners described forgetting their own voices because they went weeks without speaking. Although partially destroyed during the war, Tadmor's legacy remains a blueprint of state-engineered fear. Number 8. Black Dolphin Prison, Russia. On the border of Kazakhstan stands Black Dolphin, a place where even the architecture feels like a warning. Here, Russia contains its most dangerous criminals, and according to a 2025 Russian penal review, the facility practices some of the strictest inmate control protocols on Earth. Prisoners move only bent at 90 degrees, eyes to the floor, hands behind the back, surrounded by guards trained for absolute control. Cells are illuminated 24 hours a day. Beds are metal frames bolted to the floor. There is no sitting during daylight hours, no resting, no lying down, no softening of the mind. Former officers have said the same phrase repeatedly. Black Dolphin doesn't punish the body, it punishes time. Here, time is a loop, unbroken, unforgiving. A constant reminder that the world beyond the steel gates has moved on, and the prisoner has not. Number 7. Kamiti Maximum Prison, Kenya. Kamiti is a place where structure and chaos coexist, not in balance, but in tension. Reports from the Kenya Human Rights Commission, 2024, detail overcrowding so severe that inmates used shirts hung over bars to signal mood and danger, white for safe, red for hostile, black for mourning. Nightfall changes the air in Kamiti. Outside, the world grows quiet. Inside, it wakes up. Whispers carry power. Gangs negotiate territories in coded pulses of movement. New inmates learn quickly that safety is not given. It is bought, borrowed, or bargained. The walls drip not with water, but with history, a history of riots, crackdowns, and alliances as fragile as thin paper. Kamiti is not chaos, it is organized unpredictability. Number 6. Bang Kwang Central Prison, Thailand. Bang Kwang, the Bangkok Hilton. A name that sounds luxurious, but represents one of Asia's most feared institutions. According to a Thai Corrections Department report, 2025, Bang Kwang houses long-sentence inmates under some of the most rigid disciplinary rules in the region. For years, inmates wore heavy leg chains that bruised and burned the skin. Even after reforms, the psychological memory remains woven into the prison's identity. Executions here come with a whisper, a name read quietly, a door unlocked softly, and 2 hours that stretch into eternity. Inmates describe the air as thick, not with heat, but with waiting. Waiting for noise, waiting for silence, waiting for something to change. That never does. Bang Kwang doesn't break men loudly, it breaks them slowly. Number 5. Gitarama Prison, Rwanda. Gitarama is where overcrowding reached a level that experts still struggle to describe. A 2024 UN review called it one of the most extreme cases of human compression ever recorded. At its worst, a prison built for 500 held over 6,000. Prisoners stood for hours, not because they were ordered to, but because there was no space to sit. Air felt rationed, light felt borrowed, hope felt mythical. Disease moved faster than guards could chart. Food arrived like a rumor, irregular, insufficient, unpredictable. Gitarama was not designed to destroy people, but circumstances turned it into one of the most heartbreaking failures of human infrastructure ever seen. Even after improvements, the memory of what this prison once was lingers like a shadow cast over an entire generation. Number 4. Guantánamo Bay, Cuba, U.S. controlled. Guantánamo is not defined by chaos, but by uncertainty. According to U.S. Department of Defense, a small number of detainees remain in legal limbo, held not for conviction, but for classification. Here, punishment is not physical. It is temporal. It is the erosion of when. Days collapse into each other. Nights stretch endlessly. Some prisoners have described losing the sense of what month it was, or what year. Isolation blurs identity. Waiting becomes a form of weight. Guantánamo is a place where doors don't slam shut with violence. They close quietly, softly, permanently. Number 3. Rikers Island, United States. Rikers is a storm that never fully settles. Even as of 2025, reports from the New York City Board of Correction note ongoing violence, staffing shortages, and medical emergencies that go unanswered. Here, hostility doesn't need a reason. Space itself becomes a trigger. Overcrowded dorms feel like pressure cookers. Tensions erupt over inches, gestures, silence. Gang territories shift like tides. Weapons appear, disappear, reappear. Some inmates arrive awaiting trial, but wait months, sometimes years, inside a facility where normal is a word that simply doesn't apply. In Rikers, danger isn't an incident, it is the atmosphere. Number 2, Carandiru, Brazil. Although Carandiru closed its doors, its shadow has not faded. On October 2, 1992, 111 prisoners died during a military police operation, the event that still stands as one of the deadliest in prison history. A 2024 retrospective by Brazilian legal scholars calls Carandiru a failure of capacity, control, and compassion. Before closure, disease spread unchecked. Overcrowding reached extremes. Violence became so ordinary that guards sometimes treated it as routine maintenance. Carandiru is no longer active, but its story is. A cautionary tale carved into the memory of South America. Number 1, La Modelo Prison, Colombia. And now, the descent ends here. La Modelo. A place where factions operate like nations, where territories shift inside a single hallway, and where politics, crime, ideology, and survival intersect with explosive unpredictability. According to 2025 Colombian security assessments, La Modelo remains one of the most unstable prisons on Earth, not because of its architecture, but because of who controls it. Inside, rival groups run their own systems, their own trade routes, their own justice. Investigators discovered tunnels beneath the floors, hidden chambers behind walls, rooms that held stories not meant to reach daylight. Riots here are not events, they are eruptions. Sudden, total, territorial. La Modelo feels less like a prison, and more like a contained civil war. The guards aren't rulers, they're referees in a conflict they cannot stop. And that is why, even in 2025, La Modelo stands as the most dangerous prison on Earth. A place where the line between inside and outside, order and chaos, life and survival, dissolves completely. Subscribe for more videos like this and comments below, what do you like next?